Okay, so this is the Acropolis of the site. If we walked around the backside of the Tel, I could show you a bunch more excavations and exposed buildings and walls, but I think you got the point over there that this is an ancient city, and you saw the ruins and everything. So this is Hebron. So that's the Acropolis of the hill that hasn't been excavated because it's a vulnerable place to do excavations in the past because of the tension. But that's certainly where, most likely where David's palace is located. So I want you to put David's palace up there and put King David up there for 7.5 years, ruling as a king of Judah, looking down on the ancestral tomb of his forefathers and mothers, where we just were. Now again, buried in that tomb is the specific lineage of Judah. His mother was Leah and Jacob, and you are standing in the heart of the territory of Judah. Originally, Jerusalem belonged to Benjamin, but Benjamin couldn't take it, so it wasn't taken until the time of David, and so that's when it really started being associated with Judah. Now, then also buried in that tomb are the specific lineage in the bones of King David, ruling from here. So it makes sense that he would be, Mamre is just a little over a mile that way. That's why, to me, it does make sense. Mater saying the one that he attributes building up Mamre and most probably also Machpelah before Herod the Great built it up and took that evidence away would be these two sites. It would be David. It only makes sense. The pottery dates to that time period, so it could be any number of kings within a time frame, but David being ruling here is the one that makes the most sense. What else are you going to do for 7.5 years here but maybe build up these commemorative sites? Then, of course, the blessing that that Abraham, that we went over with Abraham and Mamre, that he would become a blessing through his offspring, through Sarah, to all nations of the world, and then the blessing from Jacob to Judah, that the one to which the scepter and the royal staff belongs, the one to which it would come, would rule over all, the obedience of all the nations would be his. It's talking about the offspring that would come through that lineage and through King David. So I think an appropriate verse to put this all into context to read here is how the New Testament opens. The opening line of the New Testament says, Matthew 1:1, a record of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Now, if you look down there at the tomb, look at the houses that are surrounding it. You see all the old houses? See what I'm talking about? The houses that are all jammed together that look like they've been there for a long time? That's the old city. And then if you go out from the old city, if you expand out, then that's all the modern expansion of the city. See what I'm talking about? Yeah. And that's the way these ancient places are. You have a site like that, or like the Temple Mount, Mount Moriah in Jerusalem, or like the other places that we'll go to, and then the old city, like in the British Mandate period, and the Turkish period, and the Islamic period, back to the Byzantine period, and so forth, is built around that. That's where the old city is built around that holy place, and then the city just goes and goes and goes. Mamre is on the road that connects Jerusalem to Hebron. On the road from Jerusalem to Hebron, Mamre is right off of that road. And we were on that road when we went to Mamre, but we, instead of coming in on the Palestinian side, which meant that we would have had to go through all the security and we had to walk a long ways, instead of doing that, we'd had to walk all the way through the old city. Then we drove around to the Jewish-controlled site to come in.
I think we adopted the cat.
Yeah. And when you look on in your book, I've got a blow-up map there that shows you the position of Mamre in regards to Machpelah and Tel Hebron. Okay? Everyone understand? You see what I mean? If you don't come up here and take the time to walk out and look at that and look around and understand that's where Mamre is, then it just kind of goes, it just doesn't stick. Now the hope is from now on, when you read about Mamre and Hebron and Machpelah and this area, you'll be able to see it because you saw it today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, we're going to